ready for this long rest.
Yeah.
Feeling a little light.
Yes, definitely ready for the long rest. Also, so I can attune to an item while I'm resting.
Why am I not in? Oh, here we go.
There you go. Okay. So last time, not too much happened in terms of progressing a lot of things. In terms of like doing the stuff with the moose, you did some made some negotiations, learned a little bit more about what happened with the DeGroots. You kind of made a kind of like a relationship, at least with the kind of like the barkeep. Or at least Jimothy did in some sense, in terms of that she kind of identified that the chest that they took from the Ramshackle Inn belongs to her, and you guys didn't ultimately decide what you're gonna do with that chest, whether you're gonna turn it over or if you're gonna let her in on some of the information that she's supposedly privy to, like that she actually owns the Ramshackle Inn. And the speaker right now currently has the deed for it and has decided to kind of like close up shop for it and has made it just kind of like a storage place. But you have that offer on the table. You spoke to a couple of the loggers, and you guys got a little bit of information about their, well, two things. One, that like the moose kind of knows where they're at. It's almost like they're like, it's like stalking them or something. Then you heard a little bit about like, you're not exactly sure to the accuracy of it, a potential like ghost or something in the woods. That seems a bit I mean, you rolled a couple checks on that and you're not exactly sure, if that's true or what. And so anyhow, you were given or at least the men offered up this kid to go with you, to pretty much just become fodder. And so he's going to be going with you to the following day to kind of show you where the next location of where their operations are going to be. And we pretty much were kind of like ending the session with you guys kind of looking within the letters, kind of parsing this information, and then you're going to go to a long rest at the speaker's house, and the next day you're planning to head on out. There's a bunch of little tiny things that happen within all that, but that's kind of like the main gist of it. Did anyone have any questions?
I don't think so.
No, that sounds pretty close to what I remember, so yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so yes, I'm looking at the chat here if there's anything that you guys missed. Yes. Oh yeah, you still have the ring of protection. I think you guys decided that it's going to be going to a silo. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
All we need now is a couple of like +1 or +2 shields that we can
Stack
get
on
to
it.
a silo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to try harder to kill his character, so okay.
I don't think you have to try harder when you keep sentineling things.
It's only
No,
when
that's
I'm
true.
sentineling things lying on the ground that causes major health issues.
That was where the 8 wisdom kicked in.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so you guys, the next day, or I guess you guys are. I guess you guys are kind of like ending the night here. Is there? Yeah, you guys probably had some time here. Did you guys want to do anything before we kind of? Are you guys gonna do any watches? Or I mean, you're at the speaker's house. It's probably the safest place in town.
We all in like 6 separate rooms, or are we just in 2 rooms, 3 each?
I believe.
I think it was 2 rooms, 2 each, and then me standing out in the hall like I always do.
Yeah, I think that's how it worked out. Yeah, you got 2 rooms from her, and they're nice. She like, it's probably some of the nicest rooms you've stayed at the entire time here.
Yeah, I do recall her forcefully saying we should take baths.
Okay. Whoa.
Yeah.
She was, yeah, she pretty much like made this like holding, like pinching her nose gesture, and then pointed to the 2 large buckets, or 2 large little like baths or whatever.
Did
no,
she
okay.
did she like hold up a can of Febreze?
No,
Or
or whatever.
like 2 more bottles.
Yeah. It's like
Okay.
light some candles.
Exactly. So, yeah. So if you guys are gonna just kind of rest, then I will say that you can do that. So if you guys want, your evening goes undisturbed, and you can all successfully mark that you have a long rest.
Oh.
Nice.
So roll all those, get all your abilities back.
Oz is going to forget Minor Illusion and learn Mending.
Today he will definitely need Minor Illusion.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I know, I'm making a note of it right now that you're actually going to need that. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Nice, it recovers all the charges. That's cool. Okay. So, how this works. So, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to do anything in the morning before you head on out?
I say we just mooch off the speaker for like the next 3 months.
I mean, good. I mean, you're approaching at that point of the game where like you're pretty much more powerful than most things here. So, it's not like she's gonna be able to force your hand per se.
So you're saying we could control the town?
I'm saying it wouldn't be impossible, I guess.
She did offer the ramshackle, and we could probably run it however we want.
Yeah.
Just like that casino boat that we took.
I mean, if we're playing a bit meta, obviously there's things that level up as you do, so there's always some more things out there. But
well, like the speaker.
there's always a bigger fish.
Yeah, there's always a bigger fish. Yeah, the speaker is actually the big bad.
Yeah, she's like doing push-ups and sit-ups in her freaking room right now.
Yeah, she's just.
Is she making us breakfast and stuff? Or do we need to go to the tavern and get?
No. Yeah, no. She definitely makes you breakfast. He actually asks if he's like, "Oh, good morning. Hopefully you all had a lovely rest. What can I get for you? I'm making some pancakes. Does pancakes sound good? Do people eat pancakes?
Kodiak cakes, please. Cinnamon oat with chocolate chips.
I didn't sleep at all.
Oh, well then you can unmark a long rest.
Whoa. Racist a little bit. My kind of sleep.
Yeah, that's right. You nap, or you meditate rather, sorry.
Yeah. Creepy as that.
Yeah. Bofades is in for some cakes from the pan.
Okay. So, Jimothy, believe it or not, she like does her best to like accommodate your request. Like she actually acquires some chocolate chips, throws it in there.
Chocolate was like a rarity up here.
Yeah, exactly. There's not that many. There's not like a huge but.
Or they're chocolate chips.
Yeah, they're like
They're gonna be
Jim-
freaking raisins.
Jimothy gets drugged again.
it's just little rabbit poo.
I'll have what Jimothy had, except instead of chocolate chips, do you have any raisins?
Oh, no. Dried fruit, fresh fruit like that is kind of difficult to get sometimes. Chocolate, well, well, I guess I don't have it. They both kind of last a while, but I don't have any raisins, unfortunately.
Well then, just without the little tiny nuggets, then no chips, no raisins.
She's just like,
Plain
"Are you
pancakes,
sure?
please."
They're delectable." No, I'm just kidding. And she's just like, "Well, she kind of like makes a kind of like a large stack for everyone. Got the place at the table. The little kids join as well. They're all like being annoying as kids do. And they're like not even properly eating. It's like they're like smacking their head or like they're like chewing really loudly and like it's just a mess. It's just whenever you think of the like how gross kids eat, like that's what's happening.
This is it. I needed minor illusion to hide the stack of pancakes. This was the moment.
Just to deprive them their food.
Just
Um
like every time they like try and take a bite with their fork, you just like prestidigitation the food off of their fork.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
yes,
notice
maybe it's soiled.
one of them kind of like goes underneath the table and starts like knocking at your leg, Asilo.
Ding ding ding.
Yeah, like ding ding ding.
Oh,
Yes.
touching.
She's like, it's hard, Grandma, it's hard, and just keep saying that.
Yes. Metal tends to be
Phrasing.
very hard.
Anyhow, so you guys have the breakfast. They and push the limit of your patience with them just like screaming their heads off as they eat. She's just like, all right, will you be heading out soon, or do you need anything from me?
I think we
I mean-
probably need you to start preparing funeral rites for a young individual, since he's apparently been offered up as, the town sacrifice to this moose to lead us to where it's at.
Funeral rites. I'm sorry, who are you talking about?
I don't remember his name.
All right.
This,
Do
this
any of you
elf
remember
is
his
just
name?
like, I don't remember this human's name, but I think he's gonna die with us.
You're just taking one of the common folk and just bringing him with you? I don't quite understand.
I jest. We're bringing one of the young loggers with us, and he's gonna try and introduce us to this moose, and hopefully we can persuade the moose to do other moose things.
Oh. I see. Well, all right then. And so she's just like, this seems I mean, do you really need him? I mean, I think you can just go out into the forest here and start exploring. I mean, I hate for more people to die.
No. He's just navigating us to where the moose is known to be, and then he can leave. So he won't get it.
I see. All right. And so, okay, so you guys kind of finish your breakfast. You hear a knock at the door. And she's like, actually, don't hear a knock at the door. You scratch that. Guard brings the young man in, and she's just like, oh, all right. You must be the logger that's going with the Southerners here. And he kind of nods, and he's just like, yes, ma'am, yes. And he kind of looks to the rest of you. He's just like, are you all ready to go, or did you need more time, or?
absolutely ready to get out of here.
Yeah, let's go. What
I feel
was
like
your
I'm gonna
name,
try
young
and
sir,
grab
again?
Sorry? Oh.
What was your name, young sir?
You know, it's funny. I don't remember his name either.
Gabe.
I caught that.
It was Gabe. Wasn't it Gabe?
Oh, it was Gabe. Okay.
Oh, it
I
was.
was like, was it? I was like, okay. So he's just like, Gabe, you're the wizard one, right?
Yes. That's my official name now, the Wizard One.
The wizard one, yes. He's just like, and then so the speaker, she's just like, oh, here, why don't you take some food to go? He doesn't have a last name. That's the funny part. I haven't given him one. So she's like, oh, here. She kind of like grabs some like leftover bread. She's like, why don't you take this with you, and while you go out there with these, and please do your best to come back. I will grab a pancake to go. No syrup. Wow. You're just gonna roll it up, little taquito, and just take it with you. Okay.
So while they're talking, making their final preparations, I will step outside, and over the course of the next 10 minutes, I will cast Find Steed.
Okay. Perfect.
I'd actually like to step outside, and at the 9-minute mark, I'll start casting Phantom Steed.
Okay.
And for my steed, I would like to summon a moose.
Oh, wow. You can do that? That's totally one of the
It
options.
says a creature I can summon an elk. I'm thinking elk and a moose is about the same thing.
I guess that's up to you.
I like it. No, let's do it. Let me look at if there's anything mechanically between is there a moose? 5e?
Let's see. Yeah, there's a moose 5e. It's a 1/2 CR, and I think that's what it has to be to be able to summon it.
Looks like an elk is a quarter, and so yeah, that's the you can do a 1/2 CR.
Let's see.
I mean, I like this idea. Nonetheless, like even if it's pushing,
Like
that,
I could use the stat block of the elk.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's what I was gonna. That's what I'm gonna rule if that doesn't. But they'll just double check that just so you like.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm trying to find it in the manual. Find Steve.
What is this random factoid?
This is a Silo's true angle with this ill-tempered moose.
Are we
Really?
any helpful? You guys are gonna try to just.
Back like several hundred years ago, European scientists were making fun of American mammals and basically saying that North American mammals had no vigor or size. So an American scientist found like the leg bone of a moose. It was like, peep this shit, motherfucker.
No way. That's awesome.
It doesn't have a CR in the player handbook.
Which doesn't?
The spell doesn't have a maximum CR in the player's handbook. So
I was like, there better be one considering you could summon really anything.
That's weird.
Isn't it more of a size limitation?
well, there's yeah, like a warhorse is a CR 1/2, and that's one of the things that's in the list that you can summon.
Okay. So it's more of a whether it's an approved list or not. I'll say yeah. I'll say you can have a moose with the one half CR if the
Okay.
warhorse is there. That's fine with me. I like this idea, and I think it's fun, and I want to I want to play that out. So okay. So young
Oz
Gabe.
just summons like a black wispy smoke horse,
Uh-huh.
like a normal person.
Like a normal person? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So, let's see here. Oh, sorry, my girlfriend just got home. Hi. So, let's see here. So Gabe, he starts kind of like saying, okay, all right, let's start heading out. And so he kind of like puts on his coat, puts on all his gear. He's got his axe with him. And he steps out and kind of sees a Silo and Oz, and he's just like impressed. He's like, whoa, where'd you get these creatures?
Ooh, magic.
Amazon.
And he's just like, but a moose? He's like, it's like, is that the best idea? He's like, it's not gonna hurt me, is it?
I telepathically tell the moose to walk up and snort in his face.
Oh my god.
You're a nice guy.
Just
And he like jumps back and like falls back and he's falls on his ass in the snow.
and then I tell the moose to walk over and lick his forehead.
And he's just like, oh, okay. And he's like, nice moose. He's like trying to like gently like put his hand on it. And so he starts, he's just like, all right, well, it'll be this way. Are you all ready?
I believe so.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
So I will have everyone roll survival checks. To kind of see how you guys do out there. And I'll have young Gabe roll one as well.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Neither does Jimothy.
Oof.
Maybe should have grabbed another pancake on the way out.
Oh my goodness. Everyone, what is going on?
We're taking that pancake for the road.
Let's see.
I
The
added my
survival's a
4.
wisdom.
I added my 4 to my 3, so it's a 7 for me.
Beautiful.
Hey,
Okay.
join the 7 Club.
Okay. I will have Zoran, give me a D20. Just a D20. Straight up.
Is that a good number?
That's for the moose.
That's for the moose. Okay. A 2. Okay.
I would like
Jesus,
to point out.
Soren.
I want to point
I
out
thought
that
it was-
2 is a prime number. Okay, so
I
just keep
thought
that in
this
mind.
was like golf rules, where the lower the better.
Okay. So 2 is prime. Thanks, Greg. Fun facts with Greg tonight. Everyone's learning that 2 is a prime number if you didn't know that.
Yes, but 1 is the loneliest number.
God damn it. And you're Optimus Prime. Okay, I need to focus here. So you guys traveled for quite a bit. You see a couple every now and then, like a little snow hare. You and Pete, you're a bit kind of like lost in the sense that like you find that Gabe is struggling to kind of like find like the best path between like the trees. You kind of climb over a couple of rocks that are kind of interspersed between things, and he's struggling to kind of like choose kind of like the paths that like don't require that much effort. You can see why all languages are terrible. Well, this is partly informed by your guys' roles, but yes, he's technically taking point here, so you guys can definitely blame him as good management does. You find your scapegoat, and you're like, oh, it's totally that guy's fault. So, okay, and he stops for a second, and he kind of points down, and you guys kind of see what he's pointing at. He notices that he sees a couple of like footprints or some sort of tracks or something, and he's just like, yeah, this looks like kind of a larger creature. And if anyone wants to help him kind of look at it, they're more than welcome to roll like a nature check.
Timothy knows nothing about nature.
Yeah.
So, Bophades, as you kind of like step on up, you kind of squat down, look at some of these tracks, and you do notice that these are kind of consistent as you kind of look back at, a Silo's moose. You kind of notice like, okay, these look kind of similar to either like an elk or a deer or another moose or something like that. Look a little bit smaller. So you're not quite sure. Are we going in a circle? You're not sure, but you're like, and Gabe's like, and he's just like, he kind of like looks up. He's like, I feel like we've been here before. But anyhow, let's go this way. And he points in kind of like a totally different direction after you're traveling. And I'll have you guys all roll survival checks again.
And his name
Oh,
is
okay, there we go. Now we're stepping it up. Oh my God. Daniel, you can't be putting that in the chat.
Yes, I can.
I could delete it, but I won't because I think it's funny.
I mean, I was thinking, I was like, man, just being the satyr and knowing the wilderness, I feel like does help. Also, having hooves, I feel like gives me something to identify.
Okay, so the moose is doing well.
The moose is it between September and October? Is this a male moose? Is this a female one? It's surviving.
Yes.
I figure I'm not going to roll for my phantom steed. It's like a smoke steed. It can't survive, without direction.
Okay. Bophades, why don't you give me a D20 roll? Straight roll, please.
Oh.
I feel like Oz is the only consistent one here on these survival checks.
You know what's going to happen.
It's
Closest
getting
to
better.
one wins, right?
Okay. So, man, you guys are rolling garbage on these straight rolls here. So, you start traveling a bit more, and I forgot to roll for Gabe. Let me see what Gabe got. Not bad, Gabe. Okay. So he you guys kind of like start like, maybe helping him along, like being like, oh, maybe this path might be a little bit better to kind of cut through or something like that. You help him out a bit. And you guys have been out here for maybe about 2 hours now in terms of just navigating through. So with that, I'll have you guys roll a Constitution saving throw, please, as you're kind of getting a little bit, prolonged exposure to the cold out here.
Oh, he brought us out here to die.
That was a strategy the entire time.
Turn us into the Donner Party.
You notice he's like, what's that bib and fork and knife you have there?
Since the moose has the same constitution I have, that's for the moose. Moose is doing fine. Silo, not so much.
Do you want a con save from the Phantom Steed?
Wait, I'm sorry.
No, I do not want to. That's fine. You don't need to.
Let me actually click on the right thing. There we go.
All right. Conveniently enough, because you guys have the winter clothes still, you guys save still. It might come to a point where it might be automatic for some of you guys. But no, it looks like based on the rolls list, you still could technically fail it. So, okay. So you guys are able to withstand the cold. And you guys seem to start making more progress. At some point, you kind of like, you kind of like are by like a little opening in kind of like the forest. And you notice like a little chewinga start kind of like running by, like shuffling along, and then kind of like you notice that there's like a little bit like one of the trees has like a tiny little opening, maybe like a hole, and it just kind of like runs into it and kind of like goes underneath it as it kind of like disappears quickly as it appears. So it's just kind of like runs out, goes into the hole of the tree, and then it's gone.
Did we ever name the one chewinga we traveled with?
No.
Let's say, did we ever utilize the one chewinga we were traveling with, or is it still in Greg's pocket?
No, it's dead.
Technically what's
no.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say it's gone now.
No, it's gone. I remember it distinctly traveling away. It served its role.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
that
you see
been
one
like...
of those, and you notice Gabe starts like he just bolts. He just starts running towards the tree there. And he looks like very excited. He kind of like turns back as he kind of like starts looking at the nook there. And he's just like, "Whoa, did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see what that was?"
We didn't see anything.
You guys are gonna gaslight him.
So was it the same chewinga we traveled with previously, or is it a different chewinga? Can we tell?
It's kind of hard to tell. You do notice, I would say, Oz, out of it, because like all the chewingas have like distinct kind of like clothing per se, like they kind of like their little makeshift clothing. So you notice that the clothing might be a little bit different, but that's what you could tell. You're not sure if that's like.
And since I wear the same robes every day, I know that would be a good indicator that this one's different.
Yes, in this world, that's how that operates.
I mean, in my defense, my clothing is grafted into my body, so.
Right. So you get escape that, but the rest of you, shame. No wonder the speaker is like, you need a bath. You guys wear the same clothes every day.
Whoa, like, I don't roleplay this, but Oz would definitely clean his clothes meticulously every night.
Okay. All right. And that goes
with some prestidigitation.
Yes. Yes, with that pee cantrip.
Yeah.
Okay. So he kind of looks back and he's just like, "Oh, I'm sorry. We can keep going." He's like, "We're not too far out now. I feel it. And I will have Asilo. Why don't you give me a D20 roll, please?"
Fucking 10.
10. Okay. So as you're traveling along, you I would say why doesn't everyone give me a perception check, please, actually? Because you keep going through.
Let's do it.
Oh, okay. These are some good rolls. Okay. I will say anybody that rolled above or a 15 and above they start hearing some like sorry, Alan. You start hearing some some wailing. You hear like maybe some like crying or something.
Oh, man.
Coming from the distance.
I've played Left 4 Dead.
And then it kind of like just ceases. Like you hear it for like a few moments and then it just stops. And then Gabe's like, whoa. He kind of like jumps back. He's like, what? Did you guys hear that? Do you know what that is?
What is it?
He's like,
You're the logger who's been out here.
he's like, I think that's the ghost that they were talking about.
After Gabe asks that, does Oz hear anything now?
No.
Oz is like, what do I have? It's freaking pancakes from this morning.
Not giving any special powers, that's for sure.
Oz, why don't you give me a nature check as well?
Oh no. This is going to be probably a natural 1.
13. Okay.
And
as you're looking for different tracks, you don't find anything particularly different besides your own or like smaller animals. Like you would say like a couple of like rabbits or maybe a fox.
Miniature owlbears?
That'd be hard to tell. So no.
So when he said that there was it was supposedly a ghost out here, I will use my divine sense to see if there's any undead around us.
Okay.
I guess my question on the screen was, or whatever is, could we get a sense of the direction it was coming from?
Yeah, so you would say you guys are kind of traveling a little bit to the north. I want to make sure I get this right. Yeah, northeast into the kind of the forest. And so it's maybe a bit south from where you're currently located. That's where you maybe gather the sense of where it's coming from.
So we're coming in from the northeast, traveling kind of southwest, or?
No, sorry, you're traveling northeast. You hear the sound coming kind of like maybe directly south from you.
Oh, okay. So not quite in the direction that we were traveling, but.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. And did it sound like a scream of, or a wail of pain, or injury, or like,
it almost sounds like, like I would say like maybe like
frustration.
Yeah, like they're in pain, but maybe not like physical pain. Maybe like they were like crying or like just bawling or some sort of like that. That's a bit more akin.
Okay.
Does it sound like they didn't get their pancakes this morning?
Yeah, that's such a hard, distinct sound to distinguish. I would say that'd be a very tough one to do. You're more than welcome to roll an insight check if you'd like, but
well, Oz doesn't hear this, so Oz ain't inciting anything.
Exactly.
I think I'm gonna let Silo's undead tracking happen before Bofades thinks about what he's doing next.
Okay. So, you use this, and you, what is it, 60 feet? You don't get, you don't feel it, you don't get the ping within that radius there. So you gather that it must be farther away if there were to be an undead, or it may not be an undead at all.
So I don't sense any ghosts or undead or unholy things around here. I think we should move closer.
Okay.
How are the trees in this forest? Is it still fairly dense forest, or
as you're approaching, it's a bit more sparse. As you're kind of like going deeper in, they're starting to concentrate a bit more. And he's like, "Oh, this is going to be a bit difficult." He's just like, "We're almost there to the other side. It'll start opening up again." And so I'll have you guys roll one more survival check, please.
So to clarify, are we heading Are we wanting to head towards the whale or further into the forest?
Further into the forest. He keeps guiding you away into the. He seems like he's like, okay, the path is still in the direction that they're going. You just happen to hear whales coming from the south. Whether you choose to go explore that, that's up to you.
Oh, okay. I think my intent was potentially to go check that out. I know he's navigating us to where potentially the moose might be.
Right.
But,
So, yeah. Okay. I mean, I can. Yeah. Why don't you guys decide that now, and we'll, depending on what you guys decide, I'll use that combined effective roll for that. So, are you guys wanting to kind of start not ignore, but like focus more on like where that sound might come from? Or because he's kind of a bit focusing is like, well, I don't want to go there, and conveniently enough, the path to where we're going to is in the opposite direction for the most part.
What do we know about mooses? Would they run towards a wailing ghost?
I asked the moose if he would run towards the wailing ghost. What does the moose say?
The moose. Let me look at the moose's intelligence, and I will get back to you.
I'm pretty sure it's a 6. Because with the
oh yeah,
with the fine steed, intelligence becomes 6, and it gains the ability to understand one language of your choice that you speak.
Fortunately, this moose only speaks Goblin. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't speak Goblin, and so it either has to speak Common or Celestial.
All right.
Goblin
it does speak. So it does. It does. I mean, it can understand. What does a 6 really mean? I guess does it
Rog's intelligence in campaign 1 was a 6, and he could speak and communicate with people.
Okay.
He's the brains of the group.
Yeah, 6 is what, like just kind of dumb, but not like a blob.
So it responds. It's like, it is attacking moose or no? It'll just use simple language.
Well, if it's just crying out like that, would you go investigate?
No, moose has no interest in investigating.
How does that word even mean?
What word investigate mean first?
Would you go look to see what made sound?
No. Moose only deal with danger present.
Okay, thank you.
I want to ask a follow-up question. Is thing attacking baby moose or something like that?
It might be.
Then moose go attack thing.
Well, could you do us a favor and go try and find out what it is, as long as it's within 1 mile?
Oddly
I think
specific.
it is.
First, it has to have a concept of a mile. It's just like, oh yes, of course. Let me pull out my. I only have a meter stick, no yardstick, and I don't know the conversion to that.
It's about the same.
Okay. So,
well, if it was close enough for us to hear, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it'll be within a mile.
Yeah.
You know, you can metagame that. That's fine. Okay. Is that what everyone else wants to do? Like, you're pretty much just watching a silo, kind of like, because this is all psychic linked, right? Like, it's all telepathically. Like, you're just kind of like staring at the moose.
Just kind of like raising an eyebrow every once in a while and nodding.
That's a bit confusing. How do the rest of you?
I'm going to ask Gabe, like, how much further does he think it is? Because I did hear the sound, and I feel like we could probably navigate to the spot that he thinks him and his logger friends have seen, like, this moose more frequently.
Yeah. So, okay. So just to be clear, I want to make sure you guys are like, his whole objective was to take you guys to the next site that they were going to like cut down trees and all that. And it just happens to be every time that happens, the moose appears. So it's not necessarily that he's taking you to where he finds the moose. He's more about like,
yeah.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure
Yeah, I just want to make sure that he is like if it's oh yeah, it's just past this like bend or something. Like go over there. It's just like a few minutes. We probably don't
Yeah.
need Gabe anymore because we can probably tell an area that's been used for logging,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Or
You know,
is it like a brand new site? Like they haven't
No,
been able to
no,
get
no.
any.
No, you have it right. Like it's kind of like that'd probably be a spot where they like already started kind of doing this, and they go to like different locations. So,
Yeah.
he's just like, I would imagine maybe another half hour or so, maybe another of travel. He's just like, I was a bit misoriented early on, but I think I have where I'm going.
well, Zoran, I think you're onto something. It kind of occurs to me that maybe the location doesn't matter as much as just somebody trying to take an axe to a tree in these woods.
And
Mm.
he's just
Mhm.
like, well, I mean, I have my axe. Should I just start chopping a tree now? Is that what you're recommending?
Yeah, you don't have to stick around for that. We can
And he's just
take
like,
care of it.
That plan
Whoa,
sounds
whoa, whoa!
perfect.
Let the
How about
man
that tree
work.
there?
Go
Yeah.
ahead, take a swing at it.
Gabe, why don't you give me another 11 minutes to summon my own horse again? And Gabe, if need be, you can hop on this horse that I'll summon, and it can take you out of these woods very quickly.
he's like, oh, that would be great. I mean, I was about to ask that. Like, I didn't want to start chopping or like leaving without my safety, you know? Okay, so hang on, just to be clear, did you guys, I mean, Silo, you don't have to have any more permission. If you send the moose will go. I just want to make sure that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I'd like the moose to go in the direction and see if it finds anything for maybe 10 minutes.
Okay, so the moose, the moose starts slowly, I don't want to say trotting, I guess like meandering down south, kind of where you, just taking the longest. No, it like it starts just going, moving down south and kind of like at a decent pace.
So, are
And
you like in connection with your steed or your moose the whole time, or like he's gonna go there and come back and then tell you what he saw?
No, I can talk as long as he's within a 1 mile radius. I can communicate with him.
That's what you're gonna. It's pretty good. I like this. Okay, does it move around? No, that would be silly.
It's no horse.
Exactly. It's no horse. It's not horse. Okay. So let's result. Okay, so let's say in about 5 minutes of travel. So you guys kind of wait there. You guys just kind of standing there, just kind of waiting as things.
I'll be spending this time resummoning the steed in case Gabe needs to, get out of here quickly. I'll just kind of muse like maybe we can just threaten to chop a tree down to get this moose to show up.
Yeah. Okay. So after like 5 minutes, the moose pings you back. And it says, see large white thing in forest. That's what I guess it communicates.
Does it look like a humanoid or an animal?
It looks like it has 4 legs, walks on 4 legs.
Does it look like a bear or a horse or a deer or a moose?
Does it look like a bitch? No. No. So it's just like.
Does it stir within you romantic feelings? No.
It looks like maybe bear. but it's gone now.
Okay, you can come back.
Okay. Okay, this is about 5 minutes. If you wanted to keep going, like you can. I just want to. You're gonna call it back?
Yeah.
Okay. So 5 minutes go by. It eventually kind of comes back. We'll say as Greg comes back, but he's able to cast the Phantom Speed or whatever. I think that's what he's casting. And then what do you guys think you want to do?
I mean, I don't think that we need to be exactly at that site. We could probably maybe start chopping a tree here, and that does, it's like a small tree. We don't have to chop it all the way, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Just have since Gabe volunteered to start chopping something, we can have him maybe do the motion, see what happens.
Okay.
And we can say very loudly, Gabe is chopping this tree.
Like I could hit one with a hammer, so it's not actually chopping the tree down.
In case they can't hear the chopping tree, it might speak English or common.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. So, all right. So then Gabe, sorry, he starts positioning himself, and he just starts chopping at this tree. And it looks like the way he's kind of chopping it looks like he's just like, I won't be able to do much because I can't orient where the tree's gonna fall down. I'm gonna need some rope and everything. But I'll do a couple chops. And so he chops once. He keeps chopping. And then you hear a wail again, like the cry. And then you hear the following words: "Stop! Stop right now!" And that's what you hear.
In the name of love.
And everyone can hear that. It's not like something that we're all hearing in our minds, like actually a voice.
You hear a cry coming from the woods.
Keep going, Abe.
Is it in the same direction as what the cry was?
It is the same direction. It seems a bit louder and closer now.
Keep chopping, my boy.
Okay. And he's
Don't
just like,
slow down now.
He's just like, are you sure?
What?
It's
Have we ever steered you wrong before?
yes.
Yeah,
Stops
not
again.
Very long though.
And I'm gonna bust
We
out
were
my
following
lute, and I'm
him.
gonna
He
give
was the
Gabe
one
some-
steering us.
He's just like, I'm the big bad all along. No. So he chops one more.
Shoot.
It's just like, cease. This will be your final warning. And then you hear that voice like booming from the south. And it seems like it's maybe 100 feet away or something like that.
Maybe now's the time for us to open up a dialogue with the forest voice. I don't know what else to call it.
So I'll ask the forest voice. It's like, why does he need to stop? He's trying to make a living to provide for his family.
And do you shout this out? Do you just say it?
I shout it out because I don't really know what where the voice is emanating from.
And it responds back. Chopping for survival is one thing. Chopping for profit is another.
Yes, but by them profiting, they're able to provide for more people to survive this harsh environment.
You're just giving this whole you're just shouting this out. And he's just like, it is Oral's bidding. You will cease now.
And who is Oral?
Oral?
Oral is from you guys, from the lore that you got. She's the Frostmaiden herself. This god, demigod that
Ooh.
oversees the north here.
Is she moral?
I don't know. Perhaps. So, and
What do we know about?
you know, Gabe's like, as he's hearing this, he's just like, oh, okay, can we stop chopping? Like,
Hit it again,
so
Gabe.
I'll shout out. Show yourself, so we might have a dialogue to discuss how maybe there can be a balance for them to do their work and you to protect the forest.
and you hear the voice. This is not a negotiation, and I will have everyone roll for initiative. So I will add you guys to the combat here. Give me 1 second. Choo choo.
Why did it roll twice?
Everyone's in
roll
combat
twice for
twice
everyone
except for. Looks like everyone's in combat twice except for Jimothy.
Oops. Why is everyone there? Okay, that's weird.
I don't know.
Let me start deleting some folks. Let me delete the lower numbers.
I was gonna say I only clicked that once.
Yeah, so did I.
It probably was me.
If Daniel hadn't have said something, I certainly wouldn't have noticed. But glad you're getting rid of the lower one. Nice to get an initiative roll with advantage there.
Okay. You guys kind of see you're at this opening here, and you notice that like a being of all white, almost look like reminiscent of a ghost. And it looks like it is. You notice that she's got long hair. She's got kind of like a bow with her, and she's an elf. Kind of maybe somewhat matching the description of the story that you've heard. And we will start the combat as she kind of like appears in front of you from a distance. And Ophades, you are up.
Oh man, right as my mouse died. Okay, hold on.
Oh, that's how it goes, right?
I know. I had just done the pop out, and I was like, oh, the pop out's working now. And then I was like, wait, where'd my mouse go? All right, this being is out. All right, what is Ophades gonna do? Clearly, I think what he's gonna say is, well, everything's open for negotiation, except this. And he's gonna.
Don't tell us pause for everyone, or is that just me?
Yeah, game's paused.
Okay. Here. Okay, so hang on. Before you do that, before I have you roll, I am going to need everyone to roll a wisdom saving throw, please.
Do we have to?
Yes.
Oh, my mind's about to get melted.
Okay. Woof. Yes, this is the GM's dream. Let's fucking go. All right. As you're stepping up here, unfortunately, Silo, Ophades, and looks like Zoran, you guys are all frightened by her appearance. As while she does have all these elven characteristics, she is quite frightening. Looks like it looks like a decayed corpse almost appearing before you, and you just find that unsettling. And so
Is that like a magical unsettling, or like
It is just
her appearance.
Just her appearance, unfortunately.
Okay.
So, so you are frightened. So make sure you mark that, and just for mechanical speaking, let me pull up what frightened does. So frightened, a creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of fear is within its line of sight. And the creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear. And I will check something here just to make sure. Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure if there's any repeatability, and there is. So, all right. Okay. So, Bophades, now you may go with whatever it is you're doing at a buff, or a debuff, rather.
Okay. So the frightened effect is... Sorry.
You can't move forward towards her, and then you have disadvantage on attacks and savings. Yeah. Yeah, thank you there for the little message there.
Okay. Shit. All right. Well, in that case, I am going to go with, good God, you're so ugly, I want to run away from you.
Wow, that is the worst yo mama.
I know.
Gotta work on these, come on.
Is it still a pause? It's not letting me... Oh, is the pop-out not actually working? God, let me try this.
No, you hit her with your emotions. You're like, I feel like you could use...
I'm so afraid.
Okay, let me roll a vicious mockery. Man, if I fail on this, I'm gonna be pretty pissed. Okay, I don't. So
I didn't think so.
I
didn't think so.
Rolled a 16, which beats the 14, so she does not take any damage, I'm assuming.
But then I will also do Bardic Inspiration.
Who are you inspiring?
On Jimothi. As he stands next to me, I will inspire him with words that are much better than the shitty insults that I gave to her. And then I can willingly move away from the creature, though.
That is correct. You can do that.
I will definitely do that. And then... So because this was the first turn, right? We don't get to roll that again until the start of my next turn? Or could I have done it right then?
No. You, so hang on a second. You can repeat the saving throw at the end of your turn. So now it is your end of your turn.
Okay. Yes.
And you may re-roll the save.
And that was a wisdom saving throw?
Correct. But you have disadvantage on it, so it's going to be difficult.
Oh, balls. No, that doesn't matter. You know what? Let's just see what I would have gotten. How do I do disadvantage on there?
Disadvantage not needed.
There you go.
You know what? Just getting rid of the trash rolls. Taking the trash out.
It really does suck. So, okay.
Wait, is it disadvantage on saving throws or just ability checks?
Oh, that's correct. Sorry. Ability checks and attack rolls. So saving throws are they don't count. So
that would be like vicious. Almost.
That would have been cruel. Yeah.
Yeah, cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you for correcting that. Yeah, I think it's like if it would have been your initiative or something like that, if you would have gotten that effect ahead of time, that would have affected it because it's a check. So yeah, no, thanks for checking the rules there. Okay, well, you got a bad roll out of the way, so that works out.
A couple of them.
So, all right, up next is Bophades. Not Bophades, Asilo, sorry.
I just went.
Okay, so for...
Bet you wish you were Scorpion right now.
Bet you wish you had minor illusion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, look, I can make something even uglier than you.
Oh, darn it. I can't.
Rocks on the
Okay. So I will use my action and I will cast Hold Person. So
Okay.
DC 13 Wisdom saving throw.
This.
Something tells me these wisdom saving throws are going to be very ineffective.
She rolled a 15, so succeeds. It was close though. Okay. Damn, that would have been pretty damn. That would have been good.
Well, darn.
Okay.
Um,
Bonus action, any movement. You can't move closer.
I can't move closer. Or a way to do that. I will bonus action do nothing. I'm not going to move, and I guess I'll make my wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Take that. Hopefully you succeed. 15. A 15 succeeds. You are no longer frightened. So you kind of like, at first you're a bit thrown off, but then you're just like, maybe like your hatred or your intolerance of the undead overcomes that fear. However you want to think that you overcome it. But okay.
I probably would, seeing that my spell failed to take effect, I'd probably close my eyes and touch my holy symbol. It's like, I must defend my party. And open my eyes, look at it again, and feel at peace.
Nice. I like it. Okay. That's in your turn. Jimothy, you are up. And 20, 21, 21, and 20.
I'm gonna move. Wait. Me, how does where is that? Where's the steady aim? Oh, there it is. Ah, you cannot use steady aim and move. So, okay, I guess I will just... I'll stay here, and I will use my bonus action to steady aim to get advantage on the attack.
Okay. Fire away.
Pew! How about... Oh, here we go. Advantage. Pew!
Uh, 24 does indeed hit.
I'll savage attacker, because why not?
Okay.
Nice. So 9 plus my sneak attack of 13. So 22 psychic damage.
Okay. Yeah, you hit her with it, and let me make sure she doesn't have any. Immunity to that? Nope. Yeah. So you feel like it all goes through.
Okay, that's it for me.
Okay. All right. It is now Oz's turn. Oz, what are you doing?
Do I know what this thing is?
Why don't you give me an Arcana check? Be a little bit tricky. 13. It's a very lucky number. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, you're not quite sure. You get either obviously it's some type of undead, but you're not really sure on the details for it.
Well, I don't like it. but we did come into its forest. So you know what? Oz defects from the party, and
That would be
Yeah.
cool. That would be awesome. Actually, no, I'm not really too keen on inter
yeah,
party.
maybe we should have like talked about that.
Yeah, like inter-player combat.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like that just raises a lot of ugliness.
I'll just say, excuse me, miss. You didn't do your makeup too well. Not really a vicious mockery, but I'll cast Mind Sliver to make an intelligence saving throw.
Okay. She rolled a 19. It succeeds.
Well, does it though? I mean, that's going to be like in the back of her mind now.
She's like, I could be thinking about the makeup I wasn't wearing. Anything else?
Yeah, Oz moves back.
Checks out.
He'd like to go further, but some mystical force prevents him from doing so.
Yes, unfortunately, that's how it works. Okay. So she out some ruler here. Do that. Oh. Okay, so she is going to pull out her longbow, and she is going to aim and take a shot at Jimothy there. And miss, I'm assuming, with a 13 to hit your AC.
Yeah, that'll miss.
Okay. She will, will she move? No, I think, nope, that will be her turn. So she's going to stay right there. And it'll be Zoran's turn. Zoran, you're up.
I will bonus action cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
Wait. Why that rolls? Oh, I guess that's for later. Okay. And then I will attack with my vicious short bow at disadvantage.
Okay. Fire away.
Oh no.
There it is. I was like, yes. Miss.
I'm gonna go again.
Okay.
Because my Dread Ambusher, I can get 2 attacks on the first round, so this will be the second attack on that. And I know it's at disadvantage. A 15?
A 15 actually does hit.
So there is also an extra D8. So 11.
Wow, okay.
Actually, what did I roll? A 1. So let me use my Savage Attacker to re-roll them. Yeah, that's better. So 14.
Okay. Plus Hunter's Mark.
Oh, and then my Hunter's Mark, yeah. So 20 total.
Wow. Okay, you fire at her, and yeah, she like shouts out, she's just like, and like starts screaming towards your direction. She's not happy. She did not like that.
Okay, my last one.
Hey, fire away.
No.
Would hit. Oh, come on. This is some bullshit, I swear.
Well, it was disadvantage, so.
Yes.
And this is my Hunter's Mark, so 8 total.
Okay. She will take said damage. I'm not happy about it, but she takes it.
And then I have to roll a Wisdom. No. What had
Yeah, wisdom saving throw. Yeah.
No.
See if you remain frightened. And that reflects your actions because you hit her twice with it. Yeah, you are no longer frightened.
Okay. Wisdom.
Okay. Any movement or anything? Sorry, I guess I should have asked you. Well, actually, that was your turn, so technically no
Yeah.
movement.
I can't move at the end. Yeah, unless I wanted to move away, but I was just gonna stay there.
Okay. Top of the round, Bophades.
I have to wait till the end of my turn, so
Oh man, you're still the only one that's right.
let's see. Bophades realizes that, he's clearly not mocking enough, so he's just going to. Oh. Okay. All right. Well, there was one. Let's try that again.
Come on, bud. You can do it.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, it is
Oh,
not.
buddy. Oh, I haven't rolled out a single digits in the last 5 rolls. Oh, shit.
But actually enough, believe it or not, a 14 does hit.
Or 1 force damage.
Oof.
Fucking crushing it.
So you like barely nick her with like the force, just maybe like you shoot wide and it's like maybe an edge of the stream actually does get her on the shoulder there.
Like, sorry guys, I don't know what I'm doing.
Any movement or anything?
I will take a step that away. Yeah. Oh, so I will say something like, I think you might have messed with the wrong people. This was a bad opportunity for you, and I'll use unsettling words on the creature.
Okay. You spin words laced with magic that unsettle the creature and cause that. It's going to expend one of the burner. Choose one creature, blah, blah. Okay, that's cool. All right.
I guess I have to roll the dice too, don't I? Right?
Yeah, let's roll it on its whenever it does it, right?
Yeah, 100%. Okay.
Cool beans.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Oh yeah, roll your wisdom save again, please.
Perfect. That's gonna work out great.
There you go.
Hey! You save. You are no longer frightened.
Oh, thank goodness. All right. Boom.
Okay. Up next is Asilo. Asilo, what are you doing?
As I am no longer frightened, I guess I'm not concentrating on anything either since my spell failed. I am going to run towards the creature, and as I am running towards it, I will channel divinity and touch my holy symbol and say, guide my strikes.
Cool.
Which gives me advantage on my attack rolls, and I will take a swing with the warhammer.
Yeah. Oh my god, you're not messing around. All right. 26 does indeed hit.
And I will savage attacker that, see if I get better. Nope. And is it undead?
Oh yeah. You sense it, and you feel like the Corpse Slayer warhammer is hitting with a bit more oomph as you just slam it right into her, dealing what, 17 points of damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I will take my second attack
Oh God.
with advantage.
What the hell's going on? What the hell's going on? What the hell is going on? What's going on?
And whiff.
Oh, no. All right. Well, you walloped her, the first one. So that's good. And you moved, bonus action. Anything else? Any last
Nope.
bit of movement? Okay. Up
That
next
was it.
is Jimothy.
Okay, I will move. Here. And then I will attack.
A 15 does hit, actually.
Plus a sneak attack. So 20 psychic damage.
Okay. She takes all of that. She's looking rough.
Bonus action attack again. 14.
A 14 also hits.
So 8 more psychic.
Yeah.
Alright.
Nice.
And that's it.
Okay. It is. So yeah, you just keep striking at her. She's like, you notice that like, it still is doing damage with her, but like, she seems like ethereal. She's like ghost, but like, you notice like, you can't quite tell if it's like, like she's like being afflicted by like wounds or anything like that from anyone's attacks, but it seems like it is affecting her based on like her face expressions that the damage is all going through. Okay, Oz.
It's interesting. Oz is just gonna shout out, I don't really know what your plan was, lady. 1 versus 5 here, but not smart, was it? Not smart at all. And I'm gonna go ahead and cast Magic Missile. At
Nice.
first level. Don't want to get carried away here. And as these are flying, I'm just gonna say, eat my quills.
Eat my shorts.
It's very mature over here.
As you send out the quills and it all starts stabbing her, they are affecting her. She's still up, but of course all goes through. Anything else?
Is this a tree I can hide behind?
Yes.
I do that.
Okay. It is her turn. She is going to let's see here. This is gonna be kind of fun. How do I do this? Okay, so she is going to move through you, Silo, just right there, not leaving you. And then I'm going to need everyone to roll a Constitution saving throw. Actually, scratch that. Everyone except Bophates and Oz.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't mean to roll that. Sorry.
I feel like Oz and I were just outside of whatever. Yeah.
So I didn't mean to roll with advantage, but still, it's 9 was the first roll.
Okay, so we got a 21, 8. Okay, so you will all take
some negative effect. Or
okay. So as she like kind of like steps through a silo, and she just screams like this ear-piercing scream. And Jimothy in a silo, you will take 15 points of what kind of damage is that? Psychic damage. That makes sense. 15 points of psychic damage. Zoran, you will take is it a save or suck spell or thing? You will take half of that. So you will take 7 points of damage. And the rest of you are just kind of like, just enough. It's loud. Don't get me wrong. It does affect you, but you're able to kind of like maintain your, maybe your composure, maybe just the distance is enough to prevent you from really affecting your eardrums. Okay. Does she have anything else? That will be her turn. So it is now Zoran's turn.
Did you see the concentration?
Yep, you saved, yeah.
Okay, cool. It says in my thing like private roll, but then I feel like everyone saw that, which is fine. So okay. Yep. I'm going to attack with my vicious short bow.
Okay. Holy shit, okay. Yeah, 26 doesn't need it.
Let's see. Well, my hunter's mark on top of that. I think I can do better than a 2. Let's see what my savage does. Yeah, so for 12.
Okay. She's holding on, barely.
And then one more. Yes, one more. No. 13.
A 13 actually just hits.
And then on top of that is my 100 mark. So a 12.
And I invite you to describe your kill.
I mean, I feel like I've been trying to aim towards her torso because I'm like trying to avoid looking at her face still. I may be a little bit still frightened of her. And so yeah, I feel like there's just a bunch of arrows around her chest.
So you just like stab at her, she like cries out, and she's just like, please, why must you do this? And then like dissipates into the ether, and she is dead.
Okay. Why are you the way you are? Oh, now you're gone. So okay, thanks.
You made us roll initiative.
Well, I mean,
you said it was non-negotiable.
You're talking to nothing right now, but yes.
It doesn't matter. These are feelings that have been welling up inside for the past 12 seconds.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, just 2 rounds of combat. Very nice. Much better. And so then the Gabe kind of like comes out from hiding from maybe the adjacent tree to you, the one he was kind of like chopping at Oz, and he's just like, is she gone? Is she still here?
See, this is where minor illusion would come in so much, it'd be super handy right now. Yes, she didn't seem to be that bright.
I will use a divine sense to see if she is actually gone. Is there?
Okay, why don't you give me a religion check or an arcana check? Either of those two.
Religion.
Nice.
Okay, so just to kind of give you some flavor with it, because I think it's fun, and I like fun. Technically, you wouldn't have this information, but I like the role. So with your divine sense, you don't get an immediate sense that she is fully, like, you feel like she's gonna come back at some point. And based on like your religion check, it seems like that is her fate. Like she will just, no matter how many times you kill her, she will reapparate somewhere. You don't get the ping here, but you do feel like that the essence of her isn't completely gone from this forest.
So, like, Bophades is Fae, right? And is there a sense from that like she's tied to something in these woods?
Why don't you roll? Yeah, you can roll a Arcana or a Nature. I would say that probably be more aligned with what you have. I think, but you already maybe rolled Nature. I think before on this. So.
Oz is just gonna tell Gabe, like, there's no way she can come back. We absolutely destroyed her. No chance.
Okay. He's like, oh, great. Whew.
Oh, yeah. No, Gabe's getting the straight up, like, Grimm's Brothers, like, fairy tale, answer, right?
Right.
Like, we went into the forest and we killed this thing. You're good. Pay us. We'll get out of here.
Wait, he's not mad.
He doesn't have any money.
Yeah, dude. So he's an orphan. Like, whoa.
Hey, man, you're a witness. You saw it happen.
And also, no, our job was not to kill the ghost. It was to kill the moose.
Yeah, no, we're still going through. We're still going, but
You can tag this along and be like, hey, we did this as well. Like, could you throw us an extra couple bones here?
Yeah, this is a bonus.
I don't think we get a bonus. Extra
we're really gonna, church it up. Yeah.
So, like, with that, religion check, would I be able to tell whether or not there's something keeping her here?
Yeah, you gather that, like, this, kind of more on the religion side of things, because you kind of get this information, but like, either she's tied to the deity somehow, and like this is maybe a servant of the deity, or and like has granted her some type of like potential everlasting life in some sense. You're not exactly sure, but yeah, you feel like she's tied to this forest, maybe through her, or maybe through some other actions. So, yeah, with a 9, unfortunately, Bophades, you're, even with the little Fae point there, yeah, don't know much.
That's what I got.
Burn the whole forest.
Only one way to remove a curse.
You guys like come in and you're just like, oh, what did that Smokey the Bear tell us? Smoke the forest, something like that.
Hey, your guys' livelihood solely centered around cutting down logs in this forest, right? Be a real shame if someone burned it down.
Yeah, you guys go way back on her. It's like, oh, like you go the opposite direction. You're just like, oh, well, they need to chop down the trees in order to live. But forget it. Fuck these guys. I'd rather the ghost be gone. Okay, so
I'm just trying to figure out if there'd be like some balance that could be maintained, like they can harvest trees. Like, so I look at Gabe. I was like, when you're doing your logging operations, do you replant after you clear a section?
No, not really. We just kind of, there's a lot of trees. I mean,
And I understand
a lot of work to just cut them down.
I understand the conditions are harsh up here, and it's not as easy to, maintain good lumber areas, but I wonder if you made a conscious effort to give back what you take.
And and you guys got together. Gabe's like, he's not he's just a bit more naive, and so he's just like, no, you're right. Yeah, we should be practicing that, of course. I mean, this forest, while however large it is, not limitless. Okay, I will convey that to the loggers somehow.
And like the
It might be
tree,
best for you. That's what he says.
the tree next to me, is there like a pine cone on it or something?
Yeah, you see a couple pine cones and like that.
Alright, so I'll go over to the tree and get a pine cone and bring it over to where the ghost elf fell, and I will dig a hole and plant it in the ground.
That's awesome. Okay, I like that. That's pretty cool. I like that so much. I'm gonna give you a point of inspiration. That was cool. That was a nice little
Oh, man, she's gonna come back as like a freaking undead treant.
Yeah, no, that was cool. Okay, so yeah, you do this kind of this gesture, and who's your deity? Who do you worship?
Tyr, the god of justice.
Yeah, you feel like, or you feel like it's almost like you're like a holy symbol, almost like maybe like warms up, or you feel like something like divine within you as you're kind of like trying to establish some sort of equilibrium justice here, as you feel a little bit better and invigorated from your actions. Nice, that was cool. I like that. Okay. What are the rest of you doing? You guys just kind of hanging out? What do you guys like to do next?
Oz is wondering if he can mend the axe strikes in the tree that Gabe chopped, like, closed.
So I'd have to look. Can you put mending the spell in the kind of the?
It is a cantrip, so I will kind of say that.
It is kind of hard to like. Let me see.
But are trees creatures or are they objects? See, this is the kind of challenges that I'm giving you, Celso, as the DM.
Well, let me read like kind of the example. Single breaker character, object you touch, chain link, you have that key, I'll say this. I'll say that you're able to kind of put back. It's like they kind of like reattach themselves in a sense, like they're splintered off, or like fibers, and just like in general, they're able to kind of heal themselves. Like you guys are like grafting, right? So in some sense, if you give it enough time, and it's kind of like reabsorbs and like almost heals itself. So you're able to put it back, but it doesn't like magically heal. If that makes sense.
I'll slap a band-aid on it and say we're gonna go.
Okay. Cool. So you do that. Okay. So then Gabe's kind of like impressed. He's like, I didn't even know you could do that. He's pretty impressed. He's like, can you fix anything like that? And he kind of looks at you in awe.
Open-ended question.
Answer it how you will.
Yes, I can fix anything. As long as it's small enough.
He's like, you could make quite a bit of money doing that. There's plenty of things to repair around the town.
Oh, well, if we make it back alive, then maybe we'll do that.
Like broken hearts.
They would be small. If they're human hearts, they're smaller than a foot, so I think yes.
All right. We're not going to push the limits on medical science here. Let that for the magic healers. Okay, so can I cure wounds on a broken heart? Let's see here. What would you guys like to do next? So, I mean, kind of Gabe looks at it, he's like, so do we just keep going, or?
We probably just...
Go ahead, Greg.
I was just gonna say we probably continue through the woods to try and find this moose because, I mean, there's no way this thing that we just fought was mistaken for a freaking four-legged moose.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it doesn't seem to. It obviously doesn't match the description that Asilo's moose gave you. All right, I will have everyone roll survival checks one more time as you guys are trying to kind of maybe get to the point where.
So, before we go, I'll collect like a bunch of pine cones and like stuff them in Gabe's sack. Like, go back to where you've cleared an area before and replant before moving on to the next place.
Yes, I will do that, and you should tell the others. They will respond to you, especially if you get rid of this moose. And okay, so after all right, let me roll for him as well. Wow, he rolls pretty well. Okay, so you guys make pretty quick time, and you guys kind of get to the location that he thinks is where it should be. It kind of like slopes up a little bit. So you guys kind of like go up maybe like 5-10 feet, like gradual slope, and he kind of like gets to like the top of this, and he looks out, and as you guys are following along, he's just like, something's off here. This doesn't seem like. He's like, he kind of like looks to Oz. He's like, can you come up here? And he says, as he's and why don't you give me a perception check?
Sure.
And actually, the rest of you can roll perceptions if you like.
Ooh.
And his name is John
Wow. Okay. Hopefully, we're not gonna get sued.
Demonetized for that.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a 29, 23, 14, 13. Okay.
Sorry, I just rolled my survival check. I was
Oh, no worries. Appreciate that.
I was
so
crafting another beverage.
So yeah, no, that's important. So yeah, Oz, Jimothy, and Zoran for sure. You notice that there's like you see like an opening, and then you see like it's almost like a little like shimmer. Like you guys ever seen like from a distance where like heat waves kind of like from like the tarmac and stuff like that. It's almost like you're seeing a shimmer along this like opening in the forest here. It's almost like you see an open field of just an open like field of like snow, just nothing like this in the middle of the woods here. But then with that, you notice that there's like a shimmering effect, maybe about 20 feet ahead of you, or maybe closer to like 10, 15 feet ahead of you, as you get kind of to the top of the slope here. The rest of you just kind of see an opening in the forest. Relatively large, but Gabe's like it's like there should be a bunch of like stumps and or not stumps, like just like uprooted trees stacked over here that we were gonna haul back. He's like confused. He clearly isn't seeing what you guys are seeing.
I'm gonna cast. What am I concentrating on? All right, the steed probably. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll cast Detect Magic and.
Oh yeah. So you get the huge ping of illusion magic. Illusion, Michael.
Okay, so this seems like I wouldn't call it a minor illusion, but it seems like a big one. I'll pick up. Is there like a branch or a rock?
Yeah, you notice that there's like a couple branches. You notice that there's like a kind of like a crushed pine cones somewhere.
Okay, so you'd think I would throw this because it's only like 10 or 15 feet away, but I'm gonna mage hand it forward.
All right. So you mage hand it forward, and you notice that the pine cone kind of like pokes through, and you don't see it. It almost like it shimmers a little bit, and you still see the hand, but then you kind of like maybe retract it back and you see the here again.
I'll do that a couple more times and go, all right, so...
You go back and forth, and you confirm that it is some sort of like illusion. It's not breaking, like it's not breaking it up that you can kind of like now see whatever's through, but it seems like there's some sort of barrier that's hiding.
Well, do I get a sense for anything else about this illusion? Can I tell whether or not it's going to be harmful if we were to pass through it, or?
I'll give you. You know what? I'll give you this because you kind of tested it out. Yeah, you feel like it's not going to. Mage hand Jimmy through.
Get in there.
How much do you weigh?
Oh, probably like 30 pounds.
Yeah, it's just a little bit too heavy, but anyhow, I would say that you feel like it's not going to cause you harm by going through the barrier. Not saying that once you get to the other side, you're going to be completely safe, but just by passing through the barrier, it seems like that's mainly the scope of the magic per se, just to conceal.
Okay. I'll just kind of walk. Maybe I'll walk not towards it, but kind of parallel to where I think it is, to just try and get a sense for how large this effect is. And I'll go one way, like maybe 50 feet.
So yeah, you get it. It feels like it still continues past 50 feet. It is quite a large region.
Okay. And I'll go back to where I was and go kind of the other direction, 50 feet, and see if it kind of seems like it's going to extend that far too.
Yeah, it seems like it does extend that far as well. It seems like it's almost like, yeah, it's not. It seems like, yeah. So the first thing you kind of confirm as you're watching the shimmer, it does seem to maintain almost like your standard D&D map, but a more rectangular type shape of an area.
So I don't get the sense that it's a spherical effect. I can't measure the arc and do some math to figure out the size.
Not necessarily. Yeah, and I mean, you haven't traveled far enough where you see an ending of the effect, so you're not exactly sure.
So it's a flat effect.
Sure. Yes. Fine. Okay. What are you aiming at? What are you hoping to obtain? Here?
He's looking for pi. 3.14.
We could be here forever. I just wanted to kind of try and measure the scope of this kind of magic to sort of gauge relative power.
Okay, so it is pretty large. You gather that, like, I mean, to be able to conceal something like this, whoever did it or whatever did it must be something of quite high power or high magic. But okay. It seems like I'll give you this as well. Or actually, why don't you give me an Arcana check just to see, to the extent of this.
Sure.
What the hell's going on? I mean, what the hell is going on?
8. Look, critical failures are not a thing for checks. We have an 8.
Yeah, but I had a DC in mind, and it was unfortunately a little bit higher than that, or quite a bit higher than that. So yeah, you're not
we can
exactly
lower
sure, but so
that.
yeah, you're like without seeing who cast it or maybe getting information about the spell or anything like that to degree of how powerful someone would be to actually achieve this kind of effect, you're uncertain. It would just require more time, maybe a bit more different tactics in your investigation, like maybe going through it or seeing if there's something on the other side that provide you more context. Just like you feel like it's not that you just don't know. It feels like in order for me to put it together, I feel like I need more information.
Well, I know my group, and I know they're not going to wait for me to just poke and prod at this barrier. Someone's just going to step through. So Oz is going to stride forward and just kind of enter into the effect.
Okay. Okay. So as you're doing it, I just want to give everyone a chance. What are the rest of you doing? You watch Oz pace back and forth. Are you guys just kind of watching suit, or up to the point where he kind of steps through? What are you planning on doing?
Probably standing near him, watching what he's doing, and as soon as he moves to go inside, I'd brush up beside him.
Okay. Does everyone kind of follow that same strategy, or do you kind of wait until something happens and then you go?
Yeah, I'll be waiting for something to happen.
Okay, all right. Zoran,
Is it possible for me to give him some bardic inspiration?
Yeah. Well, I mean, guess what do you say? What do you do as he's about to cross through?
Got it, buddy. I trust in what you're doing.
Okay.
That makes one of us.
Okay. But yeah, Zoran, what are you doing?
I guess I'll try and maybe hide behind a tree. I don't know. Yeah, I'll just hang out with Sophiades and Asilo, and I guess because we didn't send him off, or did we? Did we have him? Is he still hanging around?
Sorry, the Gabe or Moose? Sorry.
Yeah. Are we having? Is Gabe gone? Did we have him leave?
No, he's still with you guys. He's standing like up top, waiting with you, both Hades and you, Zoran, as well. I think Asalo, he's stepping through as following Oz. And we'll wait for Matt here in a second for what Jimmy does.
Then yeah, I will wait out here, and I'll have maybe like my weapon drawn just in case something happens, and I don't know. I'll just have it ready.
Okay. So let me, for the sake of kind of everything here, let me move you guys to the map.
Is Oz gonna do the like Ace Ventura screen door thing? Be like, oh, oh, oh.
Oh man, those are some fun movies. But no, Oz is actually gonna just kind of like say to the group, whomever cast this magic, let's just be polite and respectful. And he will glower at Asilo's moose if the moose is back.
Well, the moose would have followed, so.
Yeah. So let me bring you guys to the map here. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Like, Oz has an intelligence of 18, a wisdom of 15. So I think he can, even if he can't gauge like absolute power of this magic, he gets a sense that it's not weak.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So, all right. Let's see what you guys see here. This map is all. I always get the configuration just slightly wrong. Give me 1 second. Okay, so let me activate this. Does it bring you guys over? So, okay, this is still not what I wanted. You guys can't see doing shit. Actually, give me 1 second. I'm gonna bring you guys back to the ramshackle inn for a second, and then I want to test something out before I mess it all up. Ugh.
A lot of spatial whiplash going on.
Sorry, my bad. I don't mean to. I'll just bring you guys here for now. Whatever. Okay, so we'll wait for if you guys want to take a quick breather or something. I guess for Matt to come back because I guess I mean I wanted to see this is going to work. So if you guys want to take a quick break, we'll be right back.
All right. Be right back.
you could do that. Okay, are we all back?
Yep, we're all back.
Let's hop back in and see what you guys do next. Okay. So Jimothy's holding back, and then Oz, as you step in, and Silo, you follow. You notice this kind of this large opening. This is kind of not showing it as well, and all of you guys kind of start moving through it as much as. But for now, hold your positions. But you start seeing a couple of trees, and they look like they have like this like almost like gray hue to them. Like almost everything's almost like not like monochrome, but it's almost got like like almost like a black and white type of effect on it. Very light, very faint, but it's almost things preserved. And you notice that here there's like it's Zelda charcoal. A little bit of that. So you get that, and then you kind of notice that the trees are almost like it's not like a big forest now that opens up. I mean, you see this large structure, and that's kind of like indicated by this outline here. Rock kind of like chatting through, and then you notice that there's like this staircase here that kind of like goes up. You're not exactly sure where it goes, but it kind of like almost like wraps around where at least what you can see wraps around this like large structure. So that's what you immediately see as you kind of come through this like shimmering effect. You're more than welcome to start moving if you'd like, or you can kind of hop back and let your companions know if you can, or if you want to try that. So
I try and stick my head back out to call my moose through with me and to nudge Gabe along with him.
Okay, so just think about what's happening here. You stick your head back out. Zoran, Bofades, and Jimothy, and Gabe both notices this just a Silo's head pops out, nothing else. And he's like, all right, come back in. Come on in. And the moose and Gabe start kind of following along. The rest of you come, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Do
you
we
guys
want Gabe with us for this?
Yeah, he's starting to
Silo
follow.
wants some fodder, I guess. I don't know.
We need verification of completion of the job, so he has to witness it.
Fair enough. So he comes with you, and he's like a little trepidatious as he's like approaches the shimmer. He like sticks his hand through a little bit, and then he kind of goes through, and he is just in awe. He's just like, whoa. Like he cannot like comprehend what is actually happening as he sees this effect here. And so, okay, let me give you a little flavor text. Why don't you guys maybe move forward, maybe like 10, 15 feet or something. You guys can see maybe a bit more. Or south, I guess. Okay, so rising from the middle of, so there's like this large circle kind of opening up, and you'll see once you kind of start moving through.
Mm-hmm.
It's a triangular gnomon, I think that's how you pronounce it, of a beautifully carved crystal that stands 20 feet tall. So you see this large structure here. A 10-foot high berm hugging the circle's eastern edge has evergreens glowing around it and atop it, sheltering what looks like a sarcophagus buried under snow and enclosed by a half circle of pale blued crystal pillars. North of the berm is a delicately carved gazebo made of marble, and south of the berm is a row of outward-facing white marble statues atop granite pillars. So feel free to start moving around a little bit, so I can give you guys a bit more
Kind of wall.
information there. So you can start seeing some things. Let's see what you guys can see.
The staircase keeps rotating away from me.
So yeah, if you guys,
It's like a wall.
yeah, there you go. You kind of like start. Oh, let me clear up the map so you guys the configuration. I always mess up the slating.
Oh, okay.
So So seeing this, does it like look like a holy site or a place of worship? Like any indication of like what
Yeah,
this
I mean,
is?
it gives off this exactly like this huge place of worship or of some sort of acts or something like that could happen here. So and you feel and I guess you still have this detect magic. Yeah, you still feel this like strong presence of magic within this particular area. So okay, so you guys kind of moved from apart with each other.
Jimothy, you want to go down this way with me?
Yeah, so let's start with Jimothy and Zoran, where you guys are at. So you guys start making your way south a little bit, and you notice this long row of kind of like diagonal set of statues. 6 elevated white marble statues arranged in a line depict slender robed figures facing northward. So they're all kind of like facing just like almost in your just directly north. You guys see the engraving on their faces have been worn away by the wind, but pointed ears make the statues identifiable as elves. So you notice that these are elven statues, all standing, with their chest high and quite, proper posture as they all look towards the north. So that's what you see.
None of the elven statues seem familiar to me, being an elf and all.
Like I said, the kind of like the faces are kind of like withered away from the wind and damage, so it's mostly just kind of like they seem like scholars at the very least, based on the way.
So they don't have weapons. Okay, so scholars. Okay, cool.
Correct. And then let's go back to the other 3. Jimothy, I don't know why I'm targeting there, but yeah, you see this large opening. You see this the circle with these runes around it, and then within that you see this kind of like large symbol there. So it looks like from the middle of it, Oz, what are actually the 3 of you there, Buffades, Oz, and Asilo? Why don't you give me an Arcana check, please?
Would I do like a religion check?
You could. Yeah, why don't you watch?
Okay.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Asilo and Oz. So Oz, as you're kind of staring at this is the large. You see this tall triangular crystal gnomon. So there's this large, like crystal, like triangular structure. A device. It seems like something that you would typically find on a sundial. It is thick near the base and narrows towards a sharp point at the top. The snow around it, conveniently enough, around the gnomon, has melted away, revealing a circle of symbols carved in the snow and around it. So that's the runes that you could see. And then what you guys parse through, both Asilo and Oz, I don't know what you're doing, Buffades, but the symbol depict the phases of the moon. So it seems like it's more of a moon dial than anything else. And so you're let me see if I can give you a little bit more context here. Sorry, pardon me, I want to make sure I get this right. So it looks like the way that's positioned, right? It looks like it's between, a full moon, and it looks like it's like almost like a waning crescent there. So, or is it waxing? I don't know. One of those two. I don't know. You guys
Waning
know
is decreasing, waxing is increasing.
So in this instance, we'd be waning, I guess, the initial one. Waning.
Does that
So,
seem accurate from the moon phases of this world?
yeah, actually, it does. It does seem to be consistent with this. So it is a bit interesting that it's positioned properly. Asilo, you look at it and you're not exactly sure. You mean you gather the same information, but you're not exactly sure which deity it may be with that. So it seems like either it's something that, like, maybe something that this particular god Oral may practice. It might be more relevant to her. But nothing about it, the common deities that you knew aware of. So, what are you three doing? He's just gonna observe there, or and then I'm gonna assume Gabe is with Zoran and Jimothy for now.
Should we advance in? As I hesitantly approach this.
If Oz moves in, I'll follow along with him.
Yeah. I leave the magic stuff to the magic people.
Yeah.
Oz wants to slowly kind of watch the central, I guess, pointer and see if it's slowly moving.
Okay, give me a perception check as you kind of stare at the moon dial for a little bit.
Okay, I've got this. 18.
Okay, so first thing you notice, and I think most of you are kind of seeing this, you notice that there's kind of like a small opening as this kind of like this round structure over here. It's like there's like crumbled rock revealing some of the inside of this like large cliff, hill, mountain. You're not exactly sure what it is. That's the first thing you notice. But so the three of you notice that. You don't see like imperceptible motion right now. It's not like a consistent thing. But you do notice it's maybe like it's more of like a gear like mechanism or like ka-chunk each instance. You do notice that there seems to be some text or something along the actual dial itself. And then it's kind of hard to read from where you're at. You'd have to approach, but it seems like there's some sort of like scribbles on it.
Anything look like an owlbear on this thing?
Okay. No. The answer is a stern no.
Well, this thing is just uninteresting. I say we move on.
Okay. So what about you, before we jump to the other two? Asilo and Buffetes, what are you two doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll be taking a look right there with Oz.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to give me what are you looking at? Are you just looking at the thing? Or are you looking at the kind of like the whole? Are you looking at the phases on the moon that are carved out? Like, what are you?
Yeah. Just like kind of here, I'll be looking at the faces of the moon to see if we can deduce anything from it.
Okay. What are you hoping to deduce? Like, what are you looking for? Anything? Like, you're like, does it you? Yeah. Okay. Why don't you give me?
That's a good question.
Oliver's like, I was hoping you'd tell me.
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a perception check or an investigation check? Whichever.
Like, are there any other markings that might be giving away the purpose?
Yeah.
Of this?
You said there was some writing on it?
Yeah.
Can we tell like what language it is?
Yeah, why don't you also roll a perception? You're not quite sure. It's kind of hard to tell. With a 22 there, as you're kind of staring at some of this, it, you're kind of wondering, like, it seems like you notice that, like, as you kind of like get down maybe a little bit, you notice that there's a bit of heat radiating from the runes. And you notice a little bit, like, you notice like the snow around it that's melted, like the water, just a little bit of moisture. It seems like whatever melted the snow away is directly coming from these runes and then the actual dial itself. That's what you notice, Bophades. You don't get anything more in terms of like what this means per se, but you, with your perception, you were able to see that.
And it's all the runes, not like one particular one or something.
Yeah, it seems like all of them are radiating the exact same amount. Okay, so we'll jump to Jimothy and Zoran, and Gabe with you. What would you like to do with said statues here? Do you guys want to just ignore them, go back to where the rest of the group, and look at them?
I mean, I kind of want to go to this first one and see if it has like a plaque or something. I don't want to touch it or anything, but maybe it'll say something. I don't know.
Okay. Give me an investigation check as you approach to touch it.
And Jimothy will look at it with her.
Okay. You can do that as well.
Worst museum ever. No audio tour. Nothing. Just kidding.
So with a 21, you so this is a bit odd, and you've kind of like maybe traveling and stuff like that. You notice that it's almost like a slight glimmer is coming from these statues. Like maybe there's something like maybe magical about it. You can't tell. There's nothing of any other details that sound. It's pretty well done. It's a nice statue, nice marble, well crafted. But you notice that the statue itself, it's on this like kind of like this like platform, little pedestal, like structure type thing, is like placed on it. It's not like it's like part of the marble. It seems like the base is like stone, and that marble statue on it is like separate. That's what you kind of notice with that. So they're not attached. So there's not like one continuous piece. And yeah.
So there's also a slight glimmer coming from the statue.
That one in particular, maybe you only notice it when you got close to this one. You'd kind of have to go check the other ones to see if that one holds the effect.
Yeah, I'll go to the second one and see if I can see it there.
Yeah, and I'll say this: you notice it as well. It takes
Okay.
you a second to kind of see it, but you do notice it, that it also has the same thing, same type of behavior. Seems like, if you were started going through all of them, I'll spare you that. If you start going through all of them, they'll look like they have a similar effect.
I think I'm just gonna go to the second one. It still seems like the statue is, separate from the pedestal. Like it looks like
Yeah,
it's separate, just like the first one. Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, I'll point that out to Jimothy and let him know, like, hey, you see that glimmer? Like, I don't know what that's about, but I still don't want to touch them. I'm afraid that something will happen. And I don't notice anything like on the ground. Like maybe the statues have been like, not statues, but the pedestals have like been dragged over here, or like anything weird.
You don't get any of that indication based on the world area. It seems like they've been there for a while.
Okay. I think I'm gonna tell Jimmy I'm gonna go back with the group and Gabe basically too. So I don't know if I want to be messing with any statues. That seems like some bad karma.
Okay, Jimothy, do you go back or? Please.
Yeah, I guess I'll go back with her.
Okay. All right. So we're a bit over time. So I was hoping it would cut to this bit sooner, but that's on me as well. So we'll say that you guys start heading back and meeting up with the rest of the group, and we'll kind of pick up the continuous exploration there next time, or next week rather, as we continue exploring whatever this area may be and what it entails.
Already.
Sweet.
We'll probably spend the whole session on this one, like,
Puzzle.
dial area.
Yeah.
It could be. It could happen. So, yeah, thanks for playing, guys. I'm glad we were able to make it to this. I was worried. I was like, oh, man, I hope if they don't make it to this, then I'm like, oh, man. Well, I mean, I guess you would make it next time, but I was hoping to at least make it so we can at least start on this next week.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll find this moose. Just
Glad to be able to marinate on this for the whole next week.
Yeah.
You're like, what on earth is going on here?
What does it
Dials,
mean? What are the
such.
symbols? Why do the statues glimmer?
These questions will be answered next time.
They won't. We don't know yet.
That's true, or not. And then, given my track record with approaching mysterious things, it really takes a long time.
Or maybe we'll have to sacrifice someone, like
Jesus Christ.
Gabe,
Yes.
to the moon goddess.
It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be Gabe. There's the other of you. It doesn't have to be Gabe. I'm just throwing that out there.
I got bad news, Gabe.
You've been
A
promoted.
5-to-1 vote.
Yeah.
Great.
It's like we all voted. It is what it is.
Yeah. Majority rules.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Whatever happened to that show? Is it still a thing?
I
No.
don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Anyways.
Okay.
Bye,
Well,
guys.
all right, guys. I'll see you guys next time.
Alrighty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good to see you guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
See ya.